Hello students, this is class 10th, subject English, chapter 7, Glimpses of India, and this is my revision lecture. Already we have completed this chapter, so today in this lecture we shall revise all three parts of Glimpses of India. So let us begin. Topics to be covered today. Today in beginning we shall discuss justification of the title of chapter Glimpses of India. After that we shall read key points of A Baker from Goa, Coorg and Tea from Assam, and at last we shall discuss homework solution of lecture 2 of Tea from Assam. So let us start with the justification of the title of this chapter Glimpses of India. So let us begin with the justification of the title of chapter Glimpses of India. Whether this title is suitable or not, we have to justify. So the title is Glimpses of India. Glimpse means glance or have a quick look. So in this chapter we have read about different parts of India, not all the parts, some parts of India, about their culture, about their tradition, about their way of living. So in these three lessons we have learnt about three different places. So in this chapter, as we know, there are three lessons which are A Baker from Goa. A Baker from Goa is written by Lucio Rodriguez, and Coorg is written by Lokesh Abrol. And third part, Tea from Assam, this is written by Arup Kumar Datta. So, A Baker from Goa. This is a pen portrait of the bakers who are in Goa. Means it is actually telling us about the traditional bakers. It is a complete description of the bakers. Then Coorg is a small coastal town in Karnataka which is well known for its beautiful scenery, spices and coffee plantation. Then third part that we have recently completed, this is Tea from Assam. This lesson briefly talks about the tea plantation in India. It also tells us about tea, its history and significance. So now let us move ahead. All the lessons majorly talks about India. It doesn't give the whole view of India, but it widely tells about the people living in some small typical Indian towns. The people who are reading this chapter will get a glimpse, means a quick look of the habit, behavior and things people do in the small Indian towns. It also widely talks about the natural wealth of India, which gives the overview of India's natural resources. The people reading this can purely understand that India is a country with good forest and natural resources. So this title is a suitable one for this chapter. Now let us move ahead. After justification of the title, we are going to read the key points of A Baker from Goa, written by Lucio Rodriguez. So let us start. Now let us read the key points of first part, A Baker from Goa. This chapter is actually about traditional Goan bakers. A Baker from Goa is a story that relates to the time when there was Portuguese rule in Goa. The story is of a baker living in a Goan village. During those times, people ate loaves of bread. Loaves means pieces of bread. These were made in big furnaces. These loaves of bread were made in big furnaces. The bakers known as padders would come to sell these bread in the street and would make a jingle sound with the bamboo stick that they had. Although nowadays we may not see these loaves but may sometimes see the furnaces and some bakers carrying on the traditional business of their forefathers. Means fathers may have died but their sons are carrying the same business of baking. The author remembers the coming of the baker twice a day during his childhood days. He was the author's friend and guide. The maidservants in the author's house would buy loaves of bread which they ate with tea, and children loved bread bangles. During those days, bread was an important part of any occasion, especially the sweet bread bowl. Also, the baker had a peculiar dress, kabai. It was a single piece frock that would reach up to knees. Baking was a profitable business at that time because the bakers had plump physique. So after key points, let us read the importance of bakers and bread in Goa. Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as bol. Then next point is the lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. And Goa is as visited by many foreigners, so cakes and balinhas are a must for Christmas and other festivals. So by these points we come to know the importance of bread in Goa. Now let us read the importance of bakers. A baker is very important and essential for a Goan village. He doesn't merely represent a profession but a highly admired Portuguese tradition. His breads are essential on each and every occasion. He enjoys respect and love of the people. The children consider him their friend, companion and guide. So this is all about a baker from Goa. Now let us read the key points of Coorg. Second part of this chapter is Coorg. Key points. Coorg, the smallest district, is situated between Mysore and Mangalore. Means Coorg is the smallest district of Karnataka. It is situated in hills and inhabited by martial men and women. Coorg is also known as Kodagu. There are evergreen forests, spices and coffee plantations and colonial bungalows in Coorg. Now the next heading is the origin of these people, means the Coorgi people. The Coorgi people are entirely different. Coorg or Kodagu, the smallest district of Karnataka, is their home. So they are descendants of Greeks and Arabs. Their traditions, marriages and rituals are entirely different from the Hindu customs. So a story goes that a part of Alexander's army stayed back and married local women. And so the present race is a mixture of both cultures. They wear long black coats, embroidered waist belts. Their dress relates them to Arab and Kurds. Means according to some they are considered to be of Arabic descent, but some others think that they are of Greek origin. The Coorgis wear a long black coat with an embroidered waist belt. It resembles kufiya, which was worn by the Arabs. This we have already discussed in the summary. Next heading is brave and hospitable. So the people of Coorg are very hospitable and are proud to tell about the bravery of their forefathers. In the Indian Army, the Kurgi regiment is the most decorated regiment because they have got many awards for their bravery. General Karayappa, the first chief of the Indian Army, was also a Kurgi. Next heading, it is wildlife. The river Kaveri gets water from the hills of Coorg. A fish mahasir abounds in this water. Animals like langurs drop partially eaten fruit in water. Kingfishers dive in it. Elephants are bathed in it. So this is about wildlife of Coorg. Now next, other adventures. River rafting, traveling in a boat, rock climbing make life adventurous. Even the laziest persons or visitors become energetic with these adventurous activities. Wild elephants, butterflies and squirrels draw our attention. Means we can see there wild elephants, butterflies and squirrels. Then next heading, it is places worth watching, the places that we can see there and we can enjoy. The entire Coorg can be seen by climbing Brahmgiri hills. Means we can see the entire view of Coorg by climbing Brahmgiri hills, and the island of Nisargdhama and Buddhist settlement at Bali are interesting places. So these are the places worth watching in Coorg. Now let us start revising Tea from Assam. This is written by Arup Kumar Datta. Now these are the key points of Tea from Assam. Recently we have completed this chapter. So let us revise once. Assam has the largest tea plantations and no one knows who discovered the tea for the first time. But there are many legends associated with it. According to a Chinese legend, a few branches of tea fell accidentally in the boiled hot water. The emperor liked the delicious flavor. This is how it came into being. So this is Chinese legend. There is one Indian legend also. As per an Indian legend, Buddhist monk Bodhidharma cut off his eyelids as to avoid sleep during meditation. Means Bodhidharma felt sleepy during meditation, so he could not meditate. So that's why he cut off his eyelids. About 10 tea plants grew out of these, and thus they banish sleep when put in hot water and drunk. So this is Indian legend. Both of them got down at Mariani Junction. Both of them means Pranjal and Rajveer. They both are friends. They are going to Assam by train, and at last they reached at Mariani Junction and went to Dekiaberi Tea Estate, where Pranjal's father Mr. Barua was the manager. There they saw women plucking tea leaves. Pranjal's father had come to receive them there and said that he knew a lot about tea plantations. Rajveer says that he is keen to learn from him. So Pranjal's father was impressed with the knowledge of Rajveer because Rajveer had studied many things about the discovery of tea, but still he was very keen to learn from Mr. Barua about tea. He wanted to learn many more things about tea plantation. So the whole chapter revolves around tea plantation. Rajveer and Pranjal they were going to Assam, and Rajveer was more excited than Pranjal because Pranjal belonged to Assam only, and Rajveer was going there first time. That's why he was more excited than Pranjal. Now let us talk about your homework. Your homework is to read this chapter carefully and revise all the questions and answers, summary and chapter highlights, and solve the assignment based on this 7th chapter, Glimpses of India of First Flight, uploaded in homework column on Adquark site. You have to solve that assignment in your notebook and send me the snapshots of the solution of assignment at my email ID. So now let us discuss the homework solution of lecture 2, Tea from Assam. This is class 10th subject English. Let us start. Homework was, this extract was given to you. Read the following extract carefully and answer the questions that follow. Extract is: Pranjal's father slowed down to allow a tractor pulling a trailer load of tea leaves to pass. This is the second flush or sprouting period, isn't it, Mr. Barua? Rajveer asked. It lasts from May to July and yields the best tea. You seem to have done your homework before coming, Pranjal's father said in surprise. Yes, Mr. Barua, Rajveer admitted, but I hope to learn much more while I am here. Questions are: why did Mr. Barua feel surprised? How did Rajveer want to spend his stay there? Which word in the extract means agreed? And what is the sprouting period of tea? So these questions were given. So let us discuss the answers. So first answer is: Mr. Barua was surprised to know that Rajveer already knew a lot about the tea gardens of Assam. He had already studied many things about tea plantations. Second, Rajveer wanted to spend his time discovering the beauty of Assam. He wanted to learn more about the tea plantations of Assam. Now, next, admitted from the extract means agreed. It means agreed. Then next is: the sprouting period or the second flush of tea lasts from May to July. This is clearly given in the passage. Now next question. Next question is: how does Rajveer describe the view from the train? So the answer is: Rajveer describes the magnificent view of the landscape from the train window. It is a sea of tea bushes at odd intervals, tall shade tree, and one can see women tea pluckers picking tea leaves. They appear to be doll-like figures. Now next question. It is: elucidate the statement, this is tea country now, means explain this statement. Pranjal said the above line when Rajveer showed his excitement of the greenery outside the train while travelling to Assam. Rajveer was very excited. As we know, Pranjal was busy in reading detective book, but Rajveer was looking outside to see the scenery. He meant to say that Assam has largest concentration tea plantation in the world. A large number of trees can be found there. Most of the tea grown in Assam is supplied all over the world. So this is homework solution of lecture 2 of Tea from Assam. So do your homework and send me the snapshots of homework on my email ID, and I hope you have understood what have been taught to you. If you like our videos, please press like button and subscribe our channel. Thank you.